Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Thriving Loudly. I'm Aisha.
And I'm Trinise, and today's episode is a whole vibe. We're diving into beauty, wellness, and what it really means to feel confident in your skin, especially as a woman of color.
Joining us is the radiant Mariam, a beauty and wellness expert at Royal Vitality, a med spa that focuses on non-invasive care. She's sharing her journey in the industry and how she empowers clients through confidence and why beauty isn't just skin deep.
Mariam, welcome to Thriving Loudly. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you guys so much for having me. I'm very excited about being here and being here with you ladies. This is going to be fun. We're going to get into it.
Let's do it.
I'm so excited.
So we are so excited. And let's start with your story. What inspired you to work in the med spa industry?
Yeah, so I am heading into my 30s, but in my early 20s, I was a makeup artist for Lancome. And my favorite part about being in the beauty industry was always like at the end, I would do people's makeup. I would never show them the end result. I would never show them the result until the very end. And then I would hand them a mirror. And that was my favorite part. Just having them look into a mirror and be like, oh my God, look at me. And I always love to see the look of awe on people's faces and have them see that you don't have to alter who you are. You don't have to alter and change and pick at what you think is wrong. We could just enhance. We could do a couple of things to just enhance your natural beauty. And that really made me go into non-invasive skincare because I grew up, I knew I wanted to shift out of makeup, and I never wanted to go the Botox and filler route because I never wanted to make people feel like they had to augment how they looked to be beautiful. Because you're beautiful no matter what, right? If you want to just enhance a couple things, we can do that. So I got into skincare technologies and non-invasive ways of doing it, and here we are.
I love that.
Yes.
Yeah, I really love that, the focus is on the non-invasive treatments, especially in today's society. There's so many young girls, like 18, 19, early 20s getting filler and Botox.
Goodness.
What are your thoughts on that, for these young girls? I mean, obviously it's being seen on social media. You see these influencers and these celebs get all this work done. I think I even saw, girls in their 20s are starting to get, the mini facelifts now. I saw one go viral.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Insane.
I really blame social media for a lot of this. It makes people feel like what they're doing isn't enough. And as someone, I'm an aesthetics director in the Medspa community. I'm constantly surrounded by nurse practitioners, people in the medical field, plastic surgeons, and it's a world where you can very easily feel like you're not doing enough, right? I am 29, I've never had Botox, I've never had filler, and that is something I struggled with moving here because of the people I'm constantly surrounded by. It makes you wonder, do I need those things to be pretty? Do I need those things to blend in? Make sure that I'm with the right crowd. But it's so important to surround yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
Number one, make sure that your mental health is intact. And you have to really look at who is around you and see if those are the people that are constantly making you feel like you're not enough. Change your circle.
Yeah.
Change your circle. Stop following the influencers that are making you feel like every other weekend you need a new treatment. That's just not the case. At 18, and it's crazy because 18 years old is when we stop producing collagen at the rate we were until we're 18. So after 18 years old, we lose collagen at a rate of 1% every single year. And so think about the fact that from 16 all the way to 19, people are augmenting their face. Your face isn't fully developed yet. So much can change. I look at pictures of myself at 16, 18, 21, 23, 25, and now 29, and I look like a completely different person. And I wouldn't be able to change that much if I didn't give my body the time it needed to get there.
Yeah.
So a lot of girls right now, they don't, there's like a term going around, moon face, right? Like a baby round face. And so many girls don't want it. They want a very defined jawline. That will come.
It will.
It will come. But right now, what's preserving your youth? It is those chubby cheeks.
Yeah.
It is that glowing skin. Preserve it as long as you can, because once you hit 50s and 60s, you will look gaunt.
Yeah.
And that will go away, and you will wish you had those cheeks back. So that's my biggest thing, is change your social media influencers, change the skin, or the people that you're around, and really focus on telling yourself how beautiful you are.
Exactly. And that's something that I deeply resonate with. That's why I created my skincare line. I had started a skincare line back in 2017, and it was made with all natural ingredients. And my core purpose was to empower people so that they can feel beautiful and confident in their own skin. Because I never really was a person that wore a lot of makeup. I feel like you should be naturally just confident in who you are. You know, God created us this way for a reason. And so I wanted to create products where, you know, like maybe if you're struggling with dark spots or something like that, you know, you can put these products on your face and it can help to, you know, remove some of those dark spots or help your skin glow so that you don't have to feel like that you have, you know, makeup on. So I definitely resonate with that. As being 33 myself, I've never had Botox. I've never had fillers.
You look amazing.
Thank you. I've never had anything done.
Yeah.
But that's because I truly believe in being naturally happy and accepting yourself for who you are.
Yeah.
You know? And it's sad when you see 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds that are getting all these different procedures. It's like when we were in our 20s, we were not getting these procedures. When we were 18, we were not getting these procedures. It wasn't even heard of.
No.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, I mean, at least for me, I thought Botox was for people like middle age,
Exactly.
right? You know, at that time in that era.
Exactly.
You know?
And don't get me wrong, I'm not here to say anything wrong about Botox or filler. There is a need for that. If you have certain hollowness in your face, if you have certain wrinkles that you can't get rid of, I am all for it. I'm all for preventative Botox even. But it's the younger crowds where I just worry that they're going a little too far. There are times where I have girls come in my clinic and I look at them, and then upon assessment, and they tell me their birthday, and they're much younger than they actually look, and that concerns me because you should, at 20 years old, you should really look 20. I shouldn't be wondering if you're 28, 29.
Exactly.
Right. And that is what like an unhealthy amount of Botox can do to your face, right?
Yeah.
Well, my question is, why are they getting the Botox at such an early age? I know it's preventive, but why are they getting it at, 20, 25, when I thought you're supposed to get it like when you're like in your early 30s for preventive care?
Right. So it depends really. I think skin tone really comes into play. I think cultures and genes really come into play. So for people of color, I think we can get away with having it done later in life because we do have that melanin in our skin that helps us age at a lower rate, right? But people who are Caucasian, they age at a faster rate because of their exposure to the sun, right? There's a lot of sun damage that ends up happening. And so that causes those sunspots, those wrinkles, those fine lines that we tend to see. And so because of that, I'm 27, 28, I think preventative Botox, mini units in different places just to get rid of those fine lines that you're worried about, I think it's a great idea.
Well, there's often a stigma or misunderstanding around like beauty enhancements in BIPOC communities, especially women of color and things like that. How do you approach breaking that stigma?
Trust, building trust.
I love that.
Yeah, trust is a big thing. I mean, people of color, we go through a lot when it comes to the medical community, right? Sometimes, I mean, you look at the rate of mortality with Black women and pregnancy, right? So I have skeptical people who come to me and wonder if a laser is the right move, wonder if RF microneedling is the right move, wondering if a certain amount of heat on our skin is the right move because that can cause some heat damage, right? We can get some inflammation from that. And so trust is a huge factor in it. I think it's so important to go to someone who understands our skin, understands our cultural nuances even.
Yes.
I think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And they take the time to sit and truly understand the place that you're coming from. Because people, all women, we all just want to feel heard.
Yeah.
We want to feel like the person that we are going to understands the struggles that we are going through. And our struggles as people of color are different. And it's a difference between cultures as well, right? So it's really important to go to someone that takes the time to hear you and that you trust.
Yeah. And really assess what your needs are. Truly do a true consultation on you.
Yeah.
Before.
My consultations, sometimes I'll book people just for a consultation. I won't even recommend to do anything because it's so important for me to establish that trust with a person. And I want to be 100% honest. If someone comes to me and I don't necessarily think I can help them, I will be truthful about that. There's nothing worse to me than an unhappy client, right? Whether that's in the makeup industry, whether that's in skincare, whether that's in what I do now, it's why would I take someone's money and give them no results?
Yeah.
And that's unfortunately a place that we live in these days.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is, that is so true. What would you say are some of the biggest misconceptions when it comes to people having, med spa services done, especially, in our communities? I think I'm not going to say most people, but people do get backlash, if, a woman of color gets lip filler or they want to do Botox or something like that, or even just other services that are non-invasive, like microneedling, chemical peels, and stuff like that. I think the biggest misconception I see is that everything is injectables. A lot of people, when they come to a med spa, the first question they ask me is, okay, so you do filler and Botox? And funny enough, that's not what we do. We do have a nurse practitioner who can assist with that if that is what someone really wants. But the beauty industry is a $1 trillion industry, right? So there's a range of things that we can do. Non-invasive, invasive. Threading is a brand new thing. Lip blushing is a brand new thing. Skincare. Some med spas are only skincare, and that's great too, right? So I think the common misconception is that everything is injectables, and that's what I really try to educate my patients on, is that you can do injectables if you want, but if you are prone to certain things, especially being a person of color, if you're prone to heat rashes, if you're prone to hyperpigmentation, let's look at some of the other things that we can do alternatively that may give you the best results. I like that.
Yeah, I do too. Well, your energy is so warm and grounded. How do you make your clients feel, safe emotionally and physically when they come see you?
Physically, it's about making sure they know what I'm about to do on them, right? So I make sure that they are given the proper forms and they know what reactions they could possibly have, because reactions are common. And before I go in, we do have some people who lay on the table and they're jerkers, right? Like they just spasm a little bit. And so it's important to let people know, like, hey, you might feel a little heat. Don't worry about it. That's totally normal. And I always make sure that I prep my patient before going in. So I'll always touch my patient and let them know, hey, I'm about to go in. And so they are comfortable and they know what's about to happen. As someone who has been in the chair myself, I hate having my eyes closed and then randomly something's just happening to me, right? You have no idea what's going on. And so that is always a surprise to people. So I try to make sure I do that. Emotionally, it really circles back to that trust factor. I make sure I do a long enough consultation. I make sure I'm constantly asking patients, what questions do you have for me? Do you need a few minutes to think about questions? Do you want me to tell you some frequently asked questions that you may not be thinking of that I can go over with you? I really make sure to deep dive into their history. I try to make sure I ask what medications they're on and just what reactions have you had in the past with certain things, and let's talk it through. Let's see what the best option is.
Yeah, I think that that's really important. I know whenever I'm, having a procedure, or even if I'm going to the doctor, I like to make sure that I am feeling, like I'm trusting the provider, right? That they're making me feel comfortable, because that's so important.
Yeah.
I think touching you beforehand, like,
Yes.
hey, does this feel okay? Testing stuff out beforehand is just really important. To
Yeah,
kind of settle those nerves
totally.
too, because you don't know what you're getting yourself into. You don't know really what the procedure entails.
And it's totally, everybody's pain tolerance is different,
Yeah.
right? Everyone's pain receptors, sensitivity levels, they're all different.
Mhm.
So it's really important to not assume.
Exactly.
One thing that may work on, like for example, a radio frequency level that may work on Aisha may not work on you,
Mhm.
right? And vice versa. And so it's really important to constantly ask, hey, does this feel okay? Is this level of heat okay?
Yeah.
And I've even had patients sometimes where we're 10 minutes in and then they're like, hey, it's a little bit too hot.
Mhm.
And that can happen, right? So it's really important to keep asking those questions, because you do get those shy patients who sometimes don't want to bother you, who sometimes don't want to say anything. Or I have patients who think if I lower the intensity of something, it may not work. So they kind of just tough it out. But that's not the case. And we can always work back up to those numbers. We just need to start at a level that's comfortable for you.
I love that.
That's so good. Yeah. As a woman of color in the beauty and wellness space, what challenges have you personally experienced, and what have been some proud moments? I know, again, it's really a big stigma, being a woman of color in the beauty industry, especially in aesthetics and med spa. So how do you feel about that? And then especially also, I want to, kind of piggyback off of this, your transition from LA to Scottsdale.
Yeah.
What are the differences there?
Oh, I mean,
Huge.
I want to know the tea.
Yeah.
So let's break it down.
Yeah, let's do it.
So basically, so your first question was?
Yeah, so what are some challenges you faced as a woman of color in the beauty and wellness space?
Proving the fact that I belong.
Mm-hmm.
I am a person of color. I'm a woman. I am in my 20s. And I'm constantly surrounded by plastic surgeons, neurosurgeons, people who have studied this craft for years. And I came in with a background in business school, in innovation and entrepreneurship. And a lot of people can look at me and wonder, what is she doing here? What science expertise does she have? And I had to prove not only to others but to myself that I belonged in these rooms.
Yeah.
And that was really important. And once I sat with myself, I do a lot of journaling. And once I sat with myself, really understood my why, and tried to figure out why I was doing this. Why did I want to be here? And it was truly to help others.
Yeah.
I want to be a source that helps others when they don't have a voice for themselves. I want to be that big sister. I want to be that mentor.
That
and
advocate.
and especially in the medical field right now, we don't have enough advocates in general. And so I just wanted to be that person. And so once I figured that out about myself, it was easier to walk into these rooms and prove to myself. And at the end of the day, we can't keep proving ourselves to others.
Yeah.
We have to prove ourselves to us.
Yes.
And then others will just follow suit. So as soon as I believed in myself, the rest was easy.
I love that. And then the differences between LA and Scottsdale, like what challenges were the challenges the same in LA versus being in Scottsdale now, or how I mean, and also it's like a little bit of a culture shock too, because I know LA is just so much more diverse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how are you feeling?
I would. So I moved here a year ago.
Yeah.
And I would say Scottsdale is about 3 years behind LA in terms of the wellness space. I think LA is already gearing up towards non-invasive skincare, whereas Scottsdale is still stuck on injectables and making sure that that's just the look. There's a Scottsdale girl. There's a Scottsdale girl. And so I think that was the shock of, LA people are very malleable. It's easy to sway people one way or another because they've done their research, they know what the best thing is for them, and if you give them a non-invasive option, they're all for it. Versus moving here, having to educate people about, you can get the same results but still look natural, and you don't have to inject yourself and freeze your skin or fill your skin up. That's been a difficult conversation, to navigate. So I think that was difficult. And then, being in LA, just a little bit of background about me. I graduated my bachelor's, moved to LA, and worked under Allison Statter, who is Kim Kardashian's best friend. And I thought that was an end-all, be-all job for me. I was like, I made it. LA, I'm here. I very quickly realized that was not the place for me. Those were not the circles I needed to be around. And then, I moved back to Orange County, found myself, moved here, and really created my own position for myself here. This was not a position that was on LinkedIn by any means. I created my own space here. And I think it's really important for people to understand the power of the pivot and know that just because you are in one job that would be somebody else's dream job does not mean it's your dream job. And it is okay to move on as long as you are constantly evolving and moving, even if you fail. That's okay. You're finding what you like and what you don't like, and I think that's so important.
Very important. Yes. So now that you are, now that you work in Scottsdale, what type of clientele do you have? Do you come across a lot of BIPOC or women of color clients?
I try to attract that because that's who I am. But Scottsdale, I think the demographic is mostly made up of Caucasian women.
Yeah.
So I do see a majority of those. I would say between the ages of 30s to 60s, which is really great because 30s I can focus more on the preventative stuff. 60s we can really focus and hone in on specific areas that they may need help. And then the people of color that do come to the office, I really like to make it as inclusive as possible. I like to show them the office. It's different than a normal Medspa. You've been there. And I just want people to know it's a safe space. I think it's really important. We all have hairdressers or injectors that we go to, and we'll just sit there and be like, girl, this happened today and this happened today. I just want to be that safe space for people as well.
Exactly.
I love that.
Well, let's talk about confidence. How does self-image and self-worth show up in your work with clients and in your own life?
I think for me, education is a big part of it, a big part of my self-confidence. I think you have, at least for me, I had to be educated in the space that I'm in entirely in order to feel, how can somebody trust me if I don't even know what I'm talking about, right? There is a certain level of fake it till you make it that I do believe in. But when you're talking about people's face and you're talking about potentially doing something to them, it's really important to have the answers to all of those questions. You have to sit with yourself, educate yourself, and ask yourself the questions that customers would ask you. And so education is a big part of my self-confidence. I know right now I can walk into any room and give a spiel times 10 because I know exactly what I'm talking about. And that only comes with practice. That only comes with failing, and really understanding who I am and why I do what I do.
I agree with that. What are some things that you've learned in your journey thus far?
I think one of the best things I did for myself when I moved here, so I was introduced to a marketer. She's a field marketer, and she was just able to command a room. And half of it, I feel like, was just she knew how to talk to people, and people somehow respected her. And so she wasn't in my field, she was nowhere near what I was doing, and I reached out to her and I was just like, hey, do you mind if I shadow you for a day? And she was like, sure. I don't know what help I'm going to be to you, but by all means. I went to every meeting with her. I shadowed her for a whole day, and I learned how she talks to people, and I adapted that to my business, and I adapted that to my consultations. And I think it's really important. We get so hung up on, okay, let me find a mentor in my field. Let me find someone who I can reach out to in my field. You don't need someone in your field. You need someone, just find someone who's really good at doing something you're not good at. And just you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Copy them until it becomes your own.
So what was one thing that she taught you or that you picked up on, observed?
I think she was very good at the warmth and making people feel like they're her friend and not just a client. And I really like that because I love that feeling. Going into any office, you like to feel like you belong. And so that was something that I did learn from her because I'm a Scorpio. I don't always come off.
Scorpio rising, so I get it.
I don't always come off the friendliest. And to be in this field, you have to be smiled. You have to know what you're saying. And it's not that I'm not a friendly person. I just don't think I come off that friendly sometimes. And so I just wanted to create a really warm environment for the people who come in. Yeah.
So we have a really fun segment. This is our rapid fire glow up edition, and I'm going to ask Mariam some questions. So, all right, Mariam, it's time for our rapid fire glow up.
Okay.
You've got 30 seconds or less to answer each of these questions. So I'm going to start with question number 1.
What are the rules? Do I expand on my answer? What do I do here?
Just within 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah. You can keep it short if you just want to say one thing or if you do want to expand upon it, but just within 30 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so one beauty trend that you're loving right now.
I'm loving skin minimalism. Like fewer products, but really good products. I've been loving that trend because you really don't need 30 Sephora products to make yourself look good.
And are you is this more skincare or more makeup related?
I think more skincare. Yeah.
I know, because I feel like right now the huge trend is like the 10-step like Korean skincare.
Yeah.
It's like all these products to like really get that deep look.
Yeah, it's too much. No,
and I love it, but it's a lot.
And don't get me wrong. I think mine is like 12 steps. I won't lie, but
like 5.
But I think I love when people are getting really great results just from like a few products.
Simple, Favorite non-invasive treatment right now?
RF microneedling, 100%. The RF goes deep. You get skin cell renewal. You look brand new. I love it. Yeah.
I have to add that to the list.
Yeah.
The most underrated beauty or skincare tip that you can give someone right now?
Medical grade skincare.
Yeah.
Get rid of those Sephora glycolic acids, hyaluronic acids. They are not good for you. They are processed. They do not go through the same clearance that medical grade does. Medical grade, it is more expensive, but I promise you will be a changed person once you start using it.
Interesting. And then just to touch on that real quick, is there one brand that you recommend?
Yeah, I love Skin Better.
Skin Better.
Yes, Skin Better is amazing. Yeah.
Check that out. One self-care ritual you can't live without.
I think morning Pilates. Yeah. It's really part of who I am trying to become. I'm really trying to become a better version of myself entering my 30s. And morning Pilates has given me time to be alone with myself, think things through while also going through movements. And I come out with so much clarity every time. Yeah. So I really like it. Yeah.
That's a great way to start the day.
It is.
What's one product you always keep in your bag?
Lip balm.
Ooh,
yeah.
That.
And if you can have like an SPF in there, that would be even better.
I love that. That's a double whammy right there.
It is. Yeah, I love the lip gloss. I'm like, I gotta have some type of lip gloss with me I can put on.
It won't even be coming off, and I'll be halfway through dinner just like reapplying because I love having glossy lips. Yeah.
I love that. That was so good. So I love that reminder that confidence isn't something you wait for. It's something that you truly cultivate, which I think is so important.
All right, and that beauty can be soft, healing, intentional. You don't have to change yourself. You just get to enhance the love you already have for who you are.
I love that. When beauty is approached with care and cultural awareness, it becomes a form of empowerment, not performance. So we're going to close out with our affirmation. I define beauty on my own terms. I honor my skin. I glow with confidence, care, and intention. I am radiant and I am enough.
I love that.
I love those.
Yeah, we close out every episode with an affirmation.
affirmation,
I love it.
Yeah, it's always like a nice little touch.
Yep.
Okay, guys, if today's episode resonated with you, like, share, comment, and maybe even tag somebody in this episode. And we want to know your glow up journey. So if you have products that you guys love or any tips that have helped you glow up, leave some stuff down below in the comments. We'd love to hear from you.
And make sure you check out Mariam. She works at the Royal Vitality. Where can they find you, Mariam?
Do you mean like on Instagram? Or?
Yeah, just everywhere.
Okay. On Instagram, you can find my personal page at Mariam_Afzal, and then you can follow along on different journeys for skincare and skincare technologies at the Royal Vitality.
Yeah, we love that. And then also make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Thriving Loudly. And anytime you want to share anything with us, hashtag Thriving Loudly for us.
All right, until next time. So keep glowing, keep healing, and keep thriving loudly.
Bye, guys.